You know, our first reading today is the source for the image of what they call a peaceable kingdom, or yung bang parang paraiso, a paradise-like situation where all creatures live with each other in peace. The wolf and the lamb, the leopard and the kid goat, the calf and the young lion, the cow and the bear. This is from verses 6 to 7 of our first reading from Isaiah 11. Well, we do not normally expect these animals to be put together in the same cage. Kasi if you do that, you know what to expect. The wolf will attack the lamb. The leopard will eat the kid goat. The young lion will be a predator to the calf. Well, you know, geneticists like Charles Darwin have given a name to the instinct that supposedly guides the animal kingdom, the law of random variation and natural selection, or in much simpler language, survival of the fittest. Sa Tagalog, matira ang matibay. But the reading from the book of the prophet Isaiah in today's first reading goes even further. It is mentioning a child, tatlong beses, 3 times. Isaiah mentions a child. One, a child leading a young lion and a calf together to the pasture in order to graze. That's verse 60. And it sounds ridiculous because we know that the lion is carnivorous, unlike the calf, which is herbivorous. Is the prophet prophesying that a kind of nature change will hopefully also change the diet of the lion? That the lion will eventually stop craving blood and meat and develop a certain liking for grass like the calf. We hear about a child 2 more times in the oracle. In verse 8, sabi niya, a baby will play by the cobra's den. Wow. A baby playing by the cobra's den. And another one, a child will put his hand on the lair of the adder. What is an adder? Well, an adder, kung poisonous ang cobra, mas poisonous ang adder. I have seen actual videos of children that come close to these biblical images of the peaceable or the paradise-like kingdom. Meron ngang isa a Burmese child from Myanmar. Alam nyo, ang kalaro niya, my God, a huge Burmese yellow python. Yun ang kanyang playmates. And there is another one, a little girl from India who regards a king cobra as her brother. Kalaro din niya, a playmate. Apparently, they remain unharmed. And that is how the oracle of Isaiah actually ends. Isaiah says, none shall hurt or destroy on all my holy mountain, says the Lord. Well, according to him, this will happen when the time when people will be filled with the knowledge of God. Now, maybe we can ask, what kind of knowledge is the prophet talking about? Kasi alam natin, even the advancement of human knowledge has not kept human beings from fighting and waging violent wars against each other up to now. You know, we hear so often of hired killers, you know, who just point a gun and then kill a person on, by the wayside. I imagine, that person, that killer, washing his hands afterwards and coming home to his family and eating with his wife. How can he do that? But Jesus seems to be talking about a different kind of wisdom in today's gospel. And he calls it the wisdom that is hidden from the clever and the learned. The wisdom that is revealed to the merest children, to the childlike. Isang karunungan para sa mga bata lamang. Is it really possible for a child to hold a python and not be swallowed by it? Is it really possible for a baby to play with a cobra and not be bitten by it? Ewan ko lang if you will allow that if you are the parent of those children. Because I know no parent in their right minds will certainly allow their little children to be put in harm's way. The most natural instinct, for example, of a father, kung let's say nalingat yung ama and suddenly you see a snake next to your child, the most normal tendency is for the father to be aggressive with the snake. And when we get aggressive, that's precisely when we provoke an aggressive behavior on the part of the snake, the python or the cobra. Kasi nakakasense din sila ng danger. They say animals, including fellow human beings, can sense an aggressive impulse, which is actually driven by fear. And the moment they feel threatened, they will tend to preempt the danger by striking or attacking ahead. I remember some time ago we had a guest. He refused to take a walk in our garden in Bataan because he learned from our caretaker na mayroong mga snakes around. Takot daw siya sa snakes. I said to him, you know what? If you are afraid of snakes, please know that snakes are even more afraid of you. The snakes do not really attack people. They attack only when they are cornered, only when they feel that we are about to attack them. So, sabi ko, if you are taking a walk, through the forest, na merong wildlife, all you need to do is clap your hands, clap your hands, or take two little broken bamboo poles, and tap them against each other in order to make noise, so that the poor animals will know that you are there. And that will give them the time to go away and avoid you, avoid crossing paths with you. Please do not forget, we are the ones intruding in their environments. Saint Therese has developed a spirituality she calls the Little Way, which earned her the title Santa Teresa del Niño Jesus, Saint Therese of the Child Jesus. She must have taken her inspiration for this spirituality from our gospel today. Jesus is saying in the gospel, "How blessed are your eyes that see what you see. How blessed are your ears that hear what you hear." Can we see and hear like little children? The Little Way of Saint Therese teaches us to look at the world from the perspective of the child Jesus, the God who has taken flesh in a vulnerable little child, who will neither threaten nor feel threatened by anyone. Only this perspective can change the way we relate with the rest of our fellow creatures in this our common home and make possible the biblical prophecy of a paradise-like, a peaceable kingdom.